welcome to The Apprentice. You're Fired, one of those incredible, once-in-a-blue-moon special event shows that people will be talking about for ages to come. Yes, the almost unthinkable happened. Jason sold a caravan. And in other news, double firing! Yes. As two candidates bite the dust, we'll be looking at why the wheels fell off their apprentice dreams. And then we'll focus on how Jason sold that caravan. Let's meet our panel. Caravan entrepreneur Phil Daniels, comedian Jenny Eclair, and Lord Sugar's former global troubleshooter Claude Littner. Welcome to You're Fired. Tonight's task of selecting products to sell at the caravan show led to the project manager failing to sell himself to Lord Sugar.
Kurt, you messed up on this task, OK? So, Kurt, you're fired.
Please welcome Kurt Wilson. Kurt, are you disappointed?
I honestly did think that I was capable of winning, and even up to the point where I got fired, I thought I was in with a chance, and then...
Up until that moment?
Well, no, I knew when I was into the boardroom that
yeah,
I was up against it. I had more than an idea that we hadn't sold any, and that I was going to be up against it. But, yeah, I was disappointed, but at the same time, I went out on something that I controlled and that I took a gamble on, and for that, I'm quite happy about.
OK, that's fair enough. Let's take a look at where it all went wrong for you.
Caravan, check.
Well, let's see what age you are now.
Over 50.
Definitely over 50s.
You concluded that your target market was 50-year-olds.
Old.
And yet you go and choose this retro thing. Why'd you do that? Because you liked it.
We obviously love the product.
They are really cool.
Oh, they are cool, aren't they?
They are cool. I like the fridge.
We love them.
Did he put an age on his target market?
35 to 45.
The retro camper.
Retro camper it is.
£33,000 compared to £1,500 is a bloody disgrace.
If I would have picked the right item...
And you haven't.
I'll say this for you. You're quite... I mean, when I came back to you, you went, if I hadn't made that other mistake, then the other mistakes I hadn't made wouldn't have mattered as much. Because, you took it on the chin.
But I knew exactly what I was doing. I took a chance based on that. If I'd sold something that was worth more money, I could have sold less of them. Plus, we were passionate about it, and I know the other ones had sold more. And looking back at it, it's, yeah, go for the one that sold the most. It seems obvious, but there was an opportunity there to take a chance, and I took it, and it didn't pay off for me, so...
Tell me about this caravan holiday that you went on that gave you so much insight.
We travelled France for about 6 weeks when I was about 8, 9 years old.
And were you taking notes at the time? Were you walking around going, old?
I was chief chemical toilet man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my job. So I think I had a good experience of it, yeah.
Yeah, would you ever go on a caravan holiday again?
Maybe not for a while.
Very good. If I can come to you, Phil, by the way, you are like, essentially you're a steel magnate. I love the man who you can say you're a steel magnate, and he goes, yeah, I am actually a steel magnate. But then in the latter you've moved into caravan because you're a caravan enthusiast. Did you see any enthusiasm, correct enthusiasm? Did they misjudge the industry?
The fact you put yourself forward, I was thinking this could be really good. But I just think you could have sold yourself. You could have really got up there and made a name for yourself and impressed Lord Sugar.
I mean, that was what you wanted to do. You took the gamble on going out and selling it yourself as well in order to impress.
Exactly. I mean, we'd reached the stage where we'd gone past halfway through it. It was the time to try and make a name for yourself. It was trying, stand out from the crowd. And I couldn't agree with you more. If I got it right, if I'd picked the right product, which I nearly did, then this would have been a completely different process. And that's the truth, and I wouldn't be speaking here now. Maybe I would have been in, a lot further along and in a completely different position.
Saw, though, you didn't look that interested, though, when you were selling. We see you sat here smiling now, but on the show you look really serious and sombre, and you weren't putting yourself out there looking for a sale, from what we saw.
Did you think that the sales technique was a bit too laid back, bit too...
Yeah, and you need that killer instinct. You can't let them go off the stand, and you let too many people go, from what we saw, I think.
I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think the people were there who were the type of people to buy it, and that's the mistake I made. I wouldn't say that we let people go by any stretch of the imagination, no.
Jenny, are you a caravan fan?
Well, anybody who's experienced Sanilab's Splashback will always view the caravan with caution. But yes, as a child, I did caravan, and my parents had the smallest caravan in the world. It was called a Sprite 400 because it was designed for sprites. But no, I understood why you went for the retro camper van because they're fabulous, and you
They
fell
do
in
look
love
great,
with
don't
it.
they? Yeah.
They are fabulous. They really
And
were.
I'm 53, and you know, I can see myself in a retro camper van quite easily.
Claude, were you sales technique as much as...
Well, I'd first like to say that my experience of caravans is just being stuck behind them, and they're very annoying. But as far as this sort of technique, I think you chose the wrong product. I think you've admitted to that. Your technique of selling was also a miss. You showed no enthusiasm, and I think you made a few little technical hitches along the way, which I think did for you.
Let's take a break from caravan just for a moment and revisit some of the earlier tasks, because you've been great in how you got involved and the ideas you contributed. For example, the design task of 4 weeks ago. The boys' team had a superb victory with Alex's Foldo chair, but who knows what heights they could have reached had they simply followed your grand vision.
I've got an idea.
We had a chair base, and then at the bottom would be a barrel, and then in the top, which we could put cover, would be areas to recycle our stuff, and then underneath each one would have a little area to catch that.
Particularly horrible idea from Kurt. It was a chair that you sit on, into which you put all your recycling material. Fish bones, tin cans, such and such.
I personally wouldn't want a recycling thing in my living room.
I've never come across such a revolting idea.
A business idea for the future, maybe?
That was a brainstorming event, and that wasn't the only idea that I had, but that was the one that came to the forefront, and unfortunately it wasn't the greatest. But I'd like to point out, you don't recycle food, and it wasn't going in the living room, it was going in the kitchen.
You're
so it wouldn't have
absolutely
smelt of fish bones, it would have smelt of tin cans.
You're right.
Plastic bottles.
Tin cans which often contain food. But no, you're right. This is true. You have to clean them, and your recyclers will thank you for that. You're absolutely right. Yeah. We didn't say it was a composting chair that you were going to say. Surely for caravanning, when spaces are such a premium, have you considered this as a design for your caravans?
There's no space for that in a caravan, I don't think.
But you've got to put your rubbish somewhere. Why not hide it underneath yourself so that it permeates?
You have a little on the door. You have a little lid that goes up. You chuck it in.
That's all it.
Yeah.
It's already been prepared.
Okay. Of course, we couldn't let this moment pass without asking you about this, which you brought back all the way from Dubai. I think this was a magical moment. At what point when this was produced did you go, that's not right?
As soon as we arrived into the factory when we picked it up, I seen it and just went, oh no.
And did you know what you'd done? Had you worked out?
As soon as I went, I've done inches. I could even remember calculating it in the car, thinking about people's heights, and I was thinking. And then when I got into the car, when we picked it up, I thought, oh no.
How many centimetres in a foot?
30.
Yeah. How many pounds in a kilogram?
2.2.
Yeah, oh, see, you've got it still there. Yeah, exactly.
I do know conversions. I'm not daft. I was under pressure. I was under pressure at that point. And to be fair...
The other two?
To be fair,
I
remember at least one of them going, yeah, that's right. And then both of them took a step back and went, oh, I never got involved.
And then lift and separate.Moved away. Clearly your mistake. I thought this is fantastic. I thought this was the finest thing ever. I thought it was just absolutely glorious. You impressed?
It was a great moment. I mean, it was so stunningly wrong.
It is a good sign because you're like, it's a simple mistake to make. Come on, in business. Presumably
I think that's a fatal mistake. That could have lost you everything. If you were in business and you made that kind of mistake and ordered 10,000, 100,000, whatever it is, you're out of business.
And I would have spotted that in a people carrier driving around Dubai when you've got 8 hours to buy stuff. That's why I made the mistake. So.
Yeah. But that's the pressure of business sometimes. Sometimes you make mistakes because you're under pressure, but business can be pressure.
Of course, yeah.
Always blame it on jet lag.
All right, Kurt. Brace yourself, Kurt, for comments from Lord Sugar and your former colleagues.
The first lesson of business is to make sure that you choose the right product for your potential market, and Kurt didn't do that.
I do think that the one error that's crept in here is not really listening enough to the research that really did indicate the profile of people attending would be more senior.
Kurt was too busy trying to prove Lord Sugar I'm actually a good candidate, rather than trying to get the team together and ensure that we do have a successful win with some serious strategy behind us.
Quite clearly, most of what went wrong with this task lies at Kurt's door, and that's why Kurt had to go.
What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I think I admitted in the boardroom that it was predominantly my fault. I knew where I'd made mistakes. I knew where I'd taken a chance, and it didn't pay off for me. So yeah, that was fair. Yeah.
But you're back in. You're continuing the trade that you were going to go to Lord Sugar only for investment.
Sort of. Yeah, the existing business I already had's really exploded in the last couple of months. So I'm focusing on that, and we want to take it even bigger.
You have an interesting story, by the way, Phil, in terms of how you started into this. Steel. That would be an exciting thing in itself. But to go from steel to building caravans, what was the leap for you?
Okay, I caravanned as a child, thoroughly enjoyed it. So I owned a steel business I've had for 10 years and bought my own caravans. I've had 3. And baby number 3 came along, we had 3 kids. And my wife just said, Phil, these are just too claustrophobic. I just feel crammed in. I don't like caravanning. I know you like the fresh air. I know you like caravanning. And I knew somebody that works at Thetford that sells the toilets into the caravan industry. And he says, you know, they do slide outs in the States. So I literally imported one from America with a slide out and just thought...
Sorry, what's a slide out?
You get a 7'6" caravan, the whole wall slides out 2.5 foot, so when you get on site it becomes 10 foot. So that's not been done in the UK before, so I just thought, here's an opportunity. Like a madman, went and frightened the accountant to death and borrowed some money and off we went.
And you manufacture them here, don't you?
We do, yeah, up in Widnes in the UK.
How many do you make in a year, or what's the...
This year about 150, next year about 400. But with the sort of top end, we're 25 grand, so we're not the cheapest of vans, so for the top end, that's quite a decent market sector.
And did you look at the guy who told you this and go, well, I've got the steel, you've got the toilets. This could be beautiful. OK, we are going to ask you for your vote. Do you think, when faced with those 3 that were in front of him, that Lord Sugar did the right thing, would you have voted Kurt out?
On the performance on there, yes.
Jenny?
Yes, I'm very sorry, Kurt. Yes, I would.
It's fine.
Claude?
I'm not so sorry, yes.
Always a bitter word from Claude. Let's throw that to yourselves. If you agree with Lord Sugar, hold up fired. If you disagree, hold up hard. Ooh, OK. The red is hurting my eyes. Thank you very, very much. OK. Now, we always want to give a gift to somebody as they arrive. You think it's a flag, don't you?
I've dreamt about it.
You dreamt about getting the flag, have you?
I've seen this happening, yeah.
You really have. You're going to be, and you're going to have to dance off the stage with the flag around you and have the flag. No, we're not giving you the flag. Oh, no. That'd be way too obvious to give you the flag. When instead we could give you the chair that has... Look at that! Oh, my God. It works! It works beautifully. It's comfy, and underneath, we've actually put chicken bones and banana peel and everything in there.
That's not a recycling chair.
I know it's not a recycling... Of course it's not a recycling chair. I know your vision was not a bit... Look at it, and clearly this is a prototype. We've only just started production. We'll iron out those issues as it goes along. Congratulations on reaching task 7, Kurt. Here are your highlights.
I'm not full of rubbish. I know exactly what I want to do. I want to be someone. I don't want to just be the average Joe. If I know I'm right, I can convince everybody else the same.
South Bank Festival, 10,000 people there.
The decision to come here was fantastic.
You were completely right.
Very good indeed.
His face tells a million stories.
Grumpy in the mornings, but he's a really, really nice guy.
Extremely able in a very quiet way.
Congratulations, everyone.
Team endeavour.
I'm always looking at the next project and thinking 2 steps ahead. Standing here right now, doing nothing, isn't good enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Russell. See, normally we'd be packing up to go home about now, but not this week, because Lord Sugar wasn't done. Someone else's apprentice timer had run out.
Natalie, you've had a hell of a lot of chances in this process, and you haven't proved yourself to me at all. So, Natalie, you're fired.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Please welcome Natalie Panayi. Natalie, it's a pleasure to have you here. If it gets too upsetting for you at any stage, I'm just going to leave that there. I know emotions can get volcanic as it goes along. What's your reaction to the show?
I'm obviously devastated. Absolutely devastated.
Were you gutted? Were you gutted to go out?
Really gutted. I wanted that so much.
Oh, dear.
I wanted it so much.
Well, let's listen. It was 3rd time unlucky for you on this task.
The thing that you wanted was the bike
And the box.
and the box, and you didn't get either.
We didn't get either.
Leah was discussing the numbers and perhaps that she, you know, you might have been...
Was you who continued?
Is there anything we could offer, say, if we sold 2 bikes and we could do something on that?
No. I tell you what I'm confused about. Why Natalie thinks she could have sold dozens of caravans.
Well, I'm in recruitment. You've seen the figures.
Well, so what? What's that got to do with the price of cocoa? The retro camper, isn't that a bit young for the over 50s?
You're always the person who says in hindsight.
No,
It's a fair comment he makes. I've heard you say a
No,
lot.
I know.
I did say that. I did think that.
But
I did say that.
I said I've got an interest in fashion, OK? That's my business idea. I have to be able to choose things that I think other people are going to like.
You have the utmost confidence in yourself, don't you? And yet you haven't delivered anything.
All right, explain to me I work in recruitment. Like there were 2 sentences I've never seen. Why do you think you can sell caravans? I work in recruitment. It was literally 2 random concepts put together for the first time. Why would you make a great astronaut? But I like bananas. It was just 2 things pushed together for now. Do a lot of the people you recruit need caravans?
No, I think where I was going with that is the 3 most important decisions you make in your life: getting married, buying a house, changing job. That's kind of where I was going. So I'm consultative. I can talk people into kind of changing jobs, so I can sell a caravan. You know, it's a big lifestyle thing. It's a lot of money you're parting with.
It is.
That's
absolutely.
kind of where I was going. I don't know if that came across.
No, not at all. You're like there's 7 steps between A and B, and you can funch all the way to B. Like, therefore, caravan.
Yeah.
What are you people, idiots? You can't see the link here? It's ridiculous, for God's sake. Right. What kind of person can sell a caravan?
Someone that's hungry, can relate to the customer. You need to listen to the time they tell you about them being on holiday caravanning. You know, really get involved with the customer and make it a personal sale.
Yeah, you go through the story.
I get the bit you're linking.
It's like recruitment.
Jenny, will you
Well, I didn't understand any of the girls most of the time because you seemed so cross and bad-tempered. And I think if you'd worn more comfortable shoes... I honestly, it really made me despair. Can you just wear some shoes that you can actually walk in and think in at the same time? I don't understand it. I don't get it.
When the farm shop challenge, they were particularly vertiginous, is the word I would use. They were like you were like on point for the entire week.
Yeah,
and that's not appropriate.
No, but let me just explain. They had a thicker heel, so the weight was spread more evenly. They were my most comfortable shoes. I mean, for high shoes.
So you didn't pack a pair of pumps?
I did actually. I did wear 1 pair of pumps. That was for the first task. They were uncomfortable because I'm used to wearing heels. It's about comfort.
I don't come from the
no
same
one's put
world.
those 2 concepts together. I wear heels. It's about comfort. I work in recruitment, caravan, banana, astronaut. Just we're taking leaps constantly over all this. Was it about the passion? Was it about the cumulative effect, unfortunately, of being in the boardroom a few times?
Well, I do think so, and I think right from the start you were unnecessarily argumentative. And whilst Alan Sugar does like someone who stands up for themselves, I think you really went overboard and you grated. You were very, very vicious. And it sounds strange coming from me, but actually I think that you just played it wrong. I think you could have taken a more delicate approach and succeeded.
I don't think that necessarily that was kind of a game. I think you kind of get into a situation, you're like, oh my God, I need to kind of fight for my life here and this is what I believe in. And I think maybe I'd been a bit too quiet on the tasks and I kind of got to a stage where I was like, oh my God, you know, I need to not go now. So,
we have seen in the boardroom, we've seen 2 extremes of emotion from you when you've been in there.
being half Greek, I can be very fiery, sometimes get very angry, and if people get on the wrong side of me, they feel my wrath.
Have you got a problem working with women?
I think you're getting a bit carried away there now, like, you know.
You've been rude to me the whole time. You know,
When was I rude to you?
You look at me as if I'm, I don't know, something on the bottom of your shoe, and it is disgusting.
When I'm under pressure, if something's not going right and I can't control it, I can cry. You said that I didn't have passion. I was devastated.
Very last chance. I don't want to see you here again.
I don't care if it's unfair, it's the truth. Look me in the eyes. This is the
I am looking you in the eyes.
You should have had some plates to smash
Smashing
in the board.
plates, getting angry.
I would have been happy there.
That
Greek,
look at the end, though. That look at the end, I know that I have seen that look of... Just that look of, I am so angry, I am not even talking to you. I'm that angry at you right now. That was, like, this is an husband in the boardroom, but it's still a look of, you wait till we get back to that. You just wait. Oh, you are going to pay for this in a huge way. It was vicious, man. It was vicious. It was crazy.
I know. It's business.
It's not business. Are you like that in the boardroom?
No, not at all.
No. No, that northern pragmatism about you, Phil. I don't see you cry. Have you cried ever in the boardroom?
Never, no.
Ever got a bit of steel in your eye? I've got a bit of steel in my eye. There's a little bit of a spark just there. And cry. Claude, ever cried?
I have brought people to tears.
You brought people to tears. That's not what I asked you, Claude.
No, I can't say that's happened to me.
OK. I also want to talk about your outdoorsiness, which was quite striking. Well, like, I mean, in this one, it was your exciting observations about what that plank was in the middle of a rowing boat.
I still think that that's the table where you put your champagne, unless there's only one person in the boat.
Rowing trips.
Well, because you have the two people there. Where does the champagne and strawberries go? I thought it went there.
Champagne and strawberries.
You know the rowing.
Yeah, I know the rowing. Yes. OK. The two-back of your outdoors was the farm shop task in week 4 when you visited a strange and foreign place known as the countryside.
I'm not an animal person. I've never had pets. Oh, my Lord, they're loose. If I run, will they charge? Look at this horse.
Horse.
Dog. No.
Horse, no.
Oh, my God, there's a bull. Oh, my God, there's another bull behind you.
There's one that looks like he's going to charge you, Neil. Look behind.
Do you mind if we test you just to see if how you're doing on that? Like row 1, row 1, hold up your pictures. The front row there, if you can. Row 1, hold up your pictures. Thank you. What is that?
A horse.
That's a horse. That's a number of horses. Fantastic.
That's a horse.
Down, row 2, down, row 2. Where row 2?
Dog.
Dog. Down with that. Then finally, now that we know what they are, they do look different. That's all. They come in different shapes and sizes. That's what's so tricksy about them. Row 3. Show us row 3.
Cow.
Yay! What I love about you, which is fantastic, you brought these in. We didn't.
Yeah, no.
Why did you bring these in to show me?
Well, I wanted to show you because I thought these are what I had kind of when I was younger. And I remember, I mean, look, that's a horse. This is a dog, which does not look like a dog, and this is a cow, which looks like a sheep. So I'm kind of...
Hang on, what part of the black and whiteness of that?
No, look at its face.
Its face?
Its face.
Its face. It looks like a calf, to be honest. It looks maybe a little bit like a sheep, but it's black and white. How many of you see... Oh, yeah, him.
Yeah, you do.
He's the black and white sheep of the family.
So that's kind of me saying, you know,
That this was your only experience of animals?
No.
You know they're bigger than this as well. No wonder you're surprised you saw them in real life. But they're huge. Mine must have been far away. We can't put off any longer, by the way. We do have to hear the comments, which are kind of a bit tough. But here they are from Lord Sugar and your former colleagues.
This is the 3rd time that Natalie was in the firing line. You get there because clearly you haven't made any contribution to the tasks.
Natalie hasn't really shown and was also part of the sub-team that didn't get the electric bikes.
In Wales, we would say that Natalie's a bit tup, which is like a little bit ditzy. For example, we were in the boat, she's asking me if the centre plank is actually a table for people to serve themselves on.
Natalie puts up a great fight in the boardroom, but I think that she overestimates her abilities, and that's why she's not the business partner for me, and so she had to go.
What's your reaction to that?
they're right what they're saying, but I think I'd just like to kind of, watch this space.
OK, that's fine. That's fair enough. You know, you're starting off in a business. What is the business? Is it a fashion business?
It's a fashion business, yeah. I'm wearing one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Dress design?
Women's dresses, yeah.
OK, fine.
Yeah, so online. Okay. Yeah, fingers crossed.
OK. The winning team did this so easy tonight, it's hardly worth analysing, except for one thing. Jason has come in for some criticism over the last few weeks, but he nailed it tonight. He nailed it, which was as surprising to us as the praise was to him.
Steps. See just how easy it is to slip in.
I love your style. Ergonomic. Oh, good word. Take care, take care.
They sold 3 little folding campers.
Can you send Jason back in, please?
Could you go back into the boardroom, Jason?
Don't have such a worried look on your face,
Sorry.
Jason. I forgot to say one of those sales was down to you. Well done.
I hope to keep impressing you.
He's sweet, is he?
So sweet. Such a lovely guy.
I know, and the way he walked backwards out of the room, as if Lord Sugar were the Queen or something. I'm so sorry, I'm definitely sorry. Definitely sorry. I'm so sorry, I'm back out again. Are you impressed with Jason? Were you impressed with Jason there?
I thought he'd sell at the caravan show because he's a relational guy, and yeah, I just thought direct to an end user retail, I thought he'd sell, and he did.
I'd have sacked him on the spot for the teddy bear because I have an absolute horror of adult men with large teddy bears. But apart from that, I understood why he sold at the caravan exhibition.
I mean, there is an element of, yeah, it's the right market in some way for him, and that gentle, people aren't looking for a hard sell, I presume, in that situation.
I just thought he came over beautifully on this task. He really came into his own, and I think it's great to see him perform in a way that he hasn't done before. He was good.
Yeah.
Yes. OK. Now, for your vote, it's about yourself now. Phil, do you think Lord Sugar was right to fire Natalie?
Yes.
Yes, you do. OK. Jenny?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Reluctantly, yes.
OK, we'll throw that to the audience here. If you agree with Lord Sugar, hold up fired. If you disagree, hold up hired. There's more green than there was earlier. That you could take from it. But Jenny pretty much red, I'm afraid, for that. Now, as you know, on this show, we do like to give a little gift.
Oh.
So what we've got you, and it's the first of its kind ever in the world, right?
OK.
But it's your invention, right?
OK.
It's...
Can I patent it?
Oh, yeah. It's both... It's exactly what people have been crying out for, for your champagne, your strawberries. When there's two of you there, absolutely, yeah, we'll deflate that. You can bring it home with you.
Thank you so
Fantastic, very, very good. And look, do you want the best bit about it? Can we lift it up a little bit? Can we see it anyway? Look, it's got a wheel. Natalie, you made it past the halfway mark. Here are your highlights.
I've got bags of ambition. Hello. And I want to succeed, and I'll do what it takes to make it work. Oh, my God. Oh, I didn't say thank you.
Bring the action.
I think my secret weapon would be my charm. I use it to get what I want. Come and get your milk. £1 milk. Look, there you go. You can just pop it down and pot that up. £80 for you. You won't get cheaper than this. I'm very fiery. I'm definitely ruthless. I don't take any crap from anybody. And I always get what I want.
She's so small and gorgeous, but she's got a little fire in her belly.
If it doesn't work out, try a different direction, but keep trying. Don't give up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Panayi. Well, what a night that has been. That is all we've got time for. Thanks to my guests. And remember to go to our website at bbc.co.uk/apprentice for loads more clips and Matt Edmonton's awkward conversations. Now, next week, the candidates have to create an advertising campaign for a dating website. But who will catch Lord Sugar's eye for all the wrong reasons?
In the last 10 years, the online dating industry has exploded.
I am a woman. I don't want to have to go out to a bar and sit there and wait for men to come and talk to me.
I run a mile. The first time I ever saw a picture of my wife was online, but it wasn't on a dating site.
Some people are gay, some people are lesbians.
You're sort of gonna kiss him.
Bloody hell, right.
It was the most disgraceful display of bad manners.
I've laid on some expert website designers.
Make a decision.
Passion, vigour, excitement.
To be honest, I think it's a bit boring.
I need you to impress me. Such a bloody mess.
They're not even the best bits. I can't wait. See you at the same time next Wednesday. Good night.
The changing face of life in the Northwest. A new series of Those Were the Days on BBC One Northern Ireland next. While on the BBC iPlayer, there's the cheeky face of Nev Wilshire. Catch up with the fly on the wall series, The Call Centre.